Alright, what's up guys? You have David here, coach of the Brooklyn Nets. We have week 4 of the EGL against the Athens Excelgors, coached by Estew. He brought Heracross, Azelf, Garchomp, Electros, Yanmega, and his Mega Venusaur. We brought Latios, Life Orb Latios with no Dragon Stab, SD Doublet with Aerial Ace, Banded Pangoro, Black Sludge bulky offensive Nidoqueen, offensive Murkrow, and Agility Pass Megalopony. Right from the start, Azelf is a problem, and if I could get a Baton Pass off to either Pangoro, Nidoqueen, or Latios, I'd probably win. Murkrow can do a ton of work as his flying resist is an Electros. I don't know what kind of Electros it is. I'm assuming it's Assault Vest. I'm assuming the Venusaur is physically defensive. S2 loves Speed Boost Yanmega for whatever reason. And either Heracross or Garchomp are Scarfed. I assumed it was Scarfed Heracross and Rocks Garchomp, but it could have easily been Banded Hera and Scarf Garchomp. So my plan of action is lead Murkrow, predicting the Azelf lead because that's the scariest lead on his team, and Azelf with like Dazzling Gleam and Fire Blast can really put a lot of hurt on my team. So let us get started. He's going to lead his Electros. I am going to lead with Murkrow. I don't like this matchup. I'm going to go into Nidoqueen. I don't want to take a knockoff. I don't want to take a Volt Switch. He goes for the knockoff. It's fine. I'm really bulky. I go for Rocks to sort of scout what he wants to do. He goes for knockoff again. I decide I could easily bring in Pangoro. He could knock off again, or he could Toxic or whatever. He ends up knocking off again. I know for a fact that EQ should kill. I get a crit and it doesn't. That tells me he's max physically defensive. So I know and he Volt Switches away. I know he's not a threat. Now, here he goes into his Azelf, and I decide I don't need my Pangoro anymore. The biggest thing that I needed Pangoro for was Eel, and the rest of my team takes care of his team. He didn't bring anything that I really wanted to use Pangoro on, say Scizor or just in general other stuff I can't think of off the top of my head. He had things like Gigalith that could have been problematic. But yeah, his team didn't really have anything that Pangoro really needed to check, especially since I was assuming that it was maybe a Scarf Chomp or like Rocks Azelf or something. I just felt like sacking Pangoro because if he overpredicted and went for Fire Blast, I probably lived. So that's what he ended up doing. With Fire Blast, I get to go for knockoff, and the biggest threat to my team is gone on turn 5. So what does he end up responding with? He goes into Garchomp. I want to see if it's defensive. He goes for Dragon Claw. That makes me think it's Scarfed, or else he would go for like EQ or something. So I go into Nidoqueen. He decides to sack off his Electros here, which is completely fine as I go for the Ice Beam. He goes into Venusaur. I decide to make an aggressive double, predicting either Sleep Powder or Leech Seed or something, knowing S2. He goes for the Amnesia, and I get excited. I fire off with Brave Bird to 73%. I know I'm essentially sacking off my Murkrow, but that is completely fine because he didn't use Recover. So that means Lopunny can come in. I have to Mega Evolve in return. Normal return was a roll to kill, and I didn't want to take that chance. He goes into Garchomp. I could live any hit from a Scarf Garchomp. I just fire off an Ice Punch. I was a little scared of Yachi Berry. Turns out it was not. And here's a big play. I go for the Agility because I outspeed Yanmega 100% unless it's Scarfed. And if it's Scarfed, then c'est la vie. I wasn't going to live anyway. And if he didn't protect and I just attacked, Lopunny just won 100%. Because Scarf Hera would have to lock itself into CC, and then Doublade wins from there, or whoever wins from there. Instead, so I decide he has to protect here to save his Mon. I assumed the Yanmega was Life Orb Modest with Protect, Shadow Ball, Bug Buzz, and Air Slash to sort of hit the rest of my team. So I predict the Protect, I go for Agility, S2 makes a fantastic play. I don't know what he was expecting me to do, because I don't know what would have happened. Maybe he expected like me to sub or something on his Protect. That could have been a thing. So I go for Agility, he goes for Air Slash. He's Life Orb, I see. I go into Doublade here as he gets a speed boost. If he has Shadow Ball, great. I go for an SD. He Air Slashes me. I flinch. I'm like, alright, this is fine. I'm still plenty healthy. I go for an SD. He Air Slashes. I flinch. And I decide, well, I can't risk flinching again, because if he's Scarf, this is the range that he needs to be. Max roll with Scarf Hera knockoff is 53, so I wanted to ensure that I lived. He goes for knockoff, it does 31. I have no idea what kind of spread that was, and I get to finish him off with an Aerial Ace. I'm glad Murkrow put in the work that it needed to. Lopunny ended up picking up 2 kills, even though it could have picked up more. Pangoro broke down his biggest wall, which was going to end up being that Eel, surprisingly. But yeah, overall the team performed well. It was a good battle by S2. If his Yanmega had a different set, maybe it could have done something, or if he didn't overpredict on the Zelf turn, I don't know. Either way, it was a good matchup. It was a good game. And next week we have the Gyarados. Yeah. Gyarados, coached by Mora. Should be a fun match. It's in division, so it's really important. And let's hope we win this. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.